So let's start journey of self-discovery. So last time we read how we were continuing from how importance of guru is there to attain the transcendental knowledge, because Krishna himself has recommended to go to a guru and serve him with your questions or with personal service, whatever you can offer to your guru, cooking for him, cleaning his room, washing his clothes, or whatever, if possible physically. Otherwise we hear him, right? And that's how we serve our guru, by hearing and asking submissive questions to him. So then also, yeah, we were learning about how the body changes but person remains the same. So reincarnation, Prabhupada was explaining reincarnation, right? So he was giving this example that in the childhood he was jumping and doing all sorts of the things that a child can do, but now he has an old body, so he cannot do all those things, right? But that does not mean that the person has changed. The person is the same, right? But the body is changing. Even science has proved that body is changing every day, right? The cells are, dying off, and then they are falling off the body, the skin cells, and then new cells are forming. So that's how body is changing. Even moment to moment body is changing, right? But the person doesn't change. That is a big proof of we are the spirit souls, because the spirit doesn't change, the soul doesn't change, only the outer dress changes. So like every day we change our dress, right? That doesn't mean that as a person we have changed. So therefore it is very very important to care for our soul, because that's the real person, and outside is the clothes, this body, this skin, this everything. But many times we see that we are busy in taking care, maintaining this external body more, because we are identifying more with our external body. Although it is good, because it is also said to be a temple of the God, because God is living in our heart. So therefore we should maintain our body, but that doesn't mean that we should ignore our soul, right? So there should be a proper balance, and more so we should be giving food for soul more, right? And what does our soul wants? Soul wants to serve the God, because it has come from the God, right? So if we have been separated from our parents for so long, and when we see them we want to serve them, right? We want their affection, we want to give them affection, so it is reciprocal. So similarly the soul is hankering to serve Krishna. But if we will not give her the opportunity to serve, then how will it manifest her happiness, her service, right? So we need to find out ways. So very important is chanting, that we are already doing. But otherwise also, throughout the day, how can we remember Krishna? How can we serve him? This kind of thoughts we should always nourish our soul by such thoughts. So also all of us are individuals. There is no question of merging together. Every one of us is an individual. God is an individual, and we are also individuals. Nityo nityanam chetanas chetananam. All of all the eternal conscious individual persons, one is supreme. The difference is that God never changes his body. Even Krishna's even body also doesn't change. Like in our case, this is a proof that we have material body, because matter perishes day by day. That's the proof that we have material bodies, because the body is not our identity, because we perish. And Krishna never perishes, so he has 100% spiritual body. That is the proof of his being spiritual. The difference is that God never changes his body, but we change our bodies in material world. When we go to the spiritual world, there is no more change of the body. So what is the aim of the human life? How to go back to the spiritual world from where we have actually originally we have come. right? Because we are spiritual beings, but we are right now trapped in the human bodies. And if our karmas are bad, then we can get trapped into animal bodies, insect bodies, or something like that. Or if our karmas are good, then we can get trapped into demigods bodies, okay, better living beings than the humans. But after all, we are not getting close to Krishna, or we are not going back to our place where we have originally come from. That is the spiritual world, right? So whether we travel up or whether we glide down, doesn't matter, it's always miserable, right? So our aim of the human life is to go back to spiritual world. And how can we do that? By devotional service to Krishna. So we need to promise Krishna that although we turned our back on you and we desired to, come to this world and, control everything, we also wanted to become like you, the lords. And that was a mistake, because this world is miserable. We cannot control everything here. So now we have understood, and now we want to turn to you. But he also wants to make sure, are you sure 100% you won't want to go back? I mean, you can decide. I don't want to interfere in your free will. So that is his law for us, right? If we still want to explore, if we still want to, try out different options, he will not say anything, although he is really, really waiting for us, right? So that is the purpose of our human life, because animals cannot think in this way. So that's a big plus to have human body, human intelligence, how to utilize it to go back to Godhead from we have actually come. Just as Krishna has his Satchidananda Vigraha, means Sat means eternal, Chit means completely cognizant, and Ananda means completely blissful. Vigraha means form. So God is not formless, He has a form. What is the form? Satchidananda form, an eternal form of bliss and knowledge. So when you go back home, back to Godhead, you will also get a similar body. The difference is that even when Krishna comes to the material world, he does not change his body. So you might have heard many pastimes of Krishna where he steals butter and he does a lot of mischief with the gopis and his gopa friends and his parents. So at that time also, he is coming absolutely in his spiritual body, and he never gets old. He's always looking as beautiful, as young as a 16 years old boy. Therefore, one of his name is Achyuta, means what? Who never falls, who never perish, who never deteriorates. Krishna never changes, he never falls down, because he is the controller of Maya, the material energy. So, by the effect of material energy, our body is changing, although we don't want it, but it is not in our control, right? But Krishna controls the material energy. So, how can material energy put any effect on Krishna's body? So Krishna never changes because he controls the material energy, which we cannot control, and under whose control we are changing, we are perishing. We are controlled by the material energy. And so here I have a picture here. Yeah, see here, these are the three modes of nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. These are the three puppeteers. Okay. And they are running the whole world, the whole earth. Okay. So we are just like puppets, and these are the strings. But who is above, beyond everything? That is Krishna. And Krishna controls these three modes. And if we want to, not, if we don't want to be controlled by the three modes, we need to directly surrender to Krishna. We need to directly start serving Him. So nothing will affect us. Good, bad, good weather, bad weather, good behavior, bad behavior, somebody is angry at us, nothing will affect us. Although it's not, I'm saying that we will become a stone, it's not like that. We will still be able to process the emotions, but we will be able to respond to them very maturely, very nicely, in a very, very wonderful mood of service. Okay. So here is the picture. Now you will remember this. These are the three modes, and they are controlling us like puppeteers. We are puppets. But if we want to not be controlled by these three modes, then we should directly serve the lotus feet of Krishna. And this is the change of body picture. Yeah, this one. How our body changes from small young boy to this is adolescent and then youthful, and then slowly deterioration starts, and ultimately death is there, and then next cycle starts, right? So this is going on for like uncountable time. Nobody can even trace that history. So these images were important to show so that we have a good impression of these images on our heart, so that we become serious about our spiritual life. So that is the difference between Krishna and us. And not only does he control the material energy, but he controls the spiritual energy also. All energies, everything is under his control. So everything that we see, everything manifested, that is Krishna's energy. Other different people call him different ways. Some says God's energy, Allah's energy, or something. We are saying Krishna's energy, but actually it is God, right? Just as heat and light are the energies of sun, everything manifested is made up of the energies of Krishna. There are many energies, but they have been divided into three principal ones. Now remember, well, we have been discussing these things. They are just coming again because more the emphasis, more it is in our memory. The external energy, right? This Maya, Prakriti, whole thing. The internal energy, that is the spiritual potency, that is represented by Radharani. In the temples, you will see Krishna and Radharani together. So Radharani is internal energy of Krishna. That is the energy of bliss. And right now we have not tasted the spiritual bliss. But some point in time when you are chanting, you will realize, you will feel that how much bliss is there in Krishna's holy name. So that bliss, actually, that's just a glimpse of that bliss is Radharani. But when we go to the spiritual world, they're always blissful. These kids might have seen, watched Little Krishna. So the kids are always playing with Krishna. They don't know what is, difficulties and old age and, disease. They don't know anything. Anything comes, any asura is coming, any demon is coming, they're calling Krishna, come on, your toy is ready. So Krishna kicks the demon, he will play with him, and he will finally throw him away and kill him. So that where the toy is sent by his mamaji, right? Kans mama, sent by his uncle. So he used to play like that. So they knew that Krishna is all powerful, and they were not worried about anything. But we are day and night worried about different things. So this internal energy is the bliss potency. External energy is Maya Devi, the Durga Devi. And there is marginal energy, that's we all, right? With including all the animals and every living entity. So external energy, internal energy, and marginal energy. We living entities are the marginal energy. Marginal means that we may remain under the influence of external energy, or we may remain under the influence of energy, internal energy. And that depends on what? As we like. Means what? How we choose. What is our choice? Throughout the day, we might choose to stay in external energy. We watch so many things, different news, different videos that are coming like incessantly on WhatsApp, and different engagements are there. But there is another world also where scriptures are there, where bhajan kirtans are there, where holy name is there, where like many dramas we can perform on Krishna's pastimes, and many songs can be written, many dances can be done. But see, these are all very high class activities, so they are difficult, and that's why many times people are not interested in those activities, right? But it is our choice whether we want to stay under influence of internal energy or external energy of Krishna. So just I will complete this paragraph. The independence is there, free will choice is there. After speaking Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says to Arjuna, yathechasi tatha kuru. Whatever you like, you can do. Krishna gives this independence to Arjuna. He does not force one to surrender. That is not good. So for parents also, this is a kind of instruction that we cannot force our children, right? they also have free will choice. We can always guide them for the good things, okay, but they need to make their choices. Something forced will not stand because it doesn't endure. For example, we advise our students rise early in the morning. This is our advice. We do not force anyone. Of course, we may force someone once or twice, but if it does not practice it, force will be useless. So I will stop here. So we learned so many things, right? Like Krishna is completely spiritual in nature. His body is also spiritual. Our body perishes, Krishna's body remains unchanged, and therefore he is our eternal shelter. Also, Prabhupada talked about three kinds of energies, and we are in the middle of both the energies. It is our choice what we want to choose, right? And also, he discussed that how Krishna controls the material energy, but material energy controls us. But if we want to get out of control of the material energy, we need to be more, should associate more with the spiritual energy. So how much more we can chant, that much more we are staying in spiritual energy. So that's my sharing for today. Let's stop here. Yeah. Hare Krishna.